welcome, Kjell,
Thank you.
to the stage. It's been quite a day today, hasn't it?
It's your chance, huh?
Yeah.
Look at them now.
I'm going to ask him, pepper him with questions.
They got me on the stage, and now they are in full control. I have to do what they tell. I have to answer the questions.
No, Kjell will be gentle.
You'll be gentle. Nice to hear. Nice
exactly.
To hear.
So look, you can judge from the first question, probably. And it's a very positive one, because it seems that it's a very special year for Tele2 in general. We were celebrating our 30th anniversary of Tele2, and now it's 10th year of IoT. So how does it feel for you to be a CEO in this very special moment for the company?
Well, I think it shows how far we've come in the development, because what used to be Tele2 and Comvik initially, both of them with their own stack, of course, developed, has now matured. We are not that fearless challenger only. We are a more mature company. We have broadband business, we have TV business, we have IoT business, and we have moved with the age, with the maturing of the market, and we are a business now that is prepared to move forward with a unified IT stack, with the best 5G network in Sweden, and of course, with the best performing IoT company in Europe.
Yes, we are very well performing, which leads to my next question. Why is it important to have a strong IoT division within Tele2, or any telco for that matter?
Well, I think if we are brutally honest with ourselves, in terms of the size, then IoT is a limited part of the group. I think it serves as an inspiration because of its growth, and we all remember the happy days when telcos were growing 20–30%. That was a beautiful time. I mean, it was really a beautiful time. May it come back at some point. And we see that you are out there, you're capturing markets, you're in different geographies. So that's an inspiration for the rest of the organization. And of course, when we have done a great turnaround of B2B back to growth, you have been an important contributor to that.
And today, probably you had some chance to speak with some of our customers, and we have quite a special event here. So, in your opinion, what makes Tele2 IoT really stand out on the market?
Well, I think it's the people, your attitude. I also think it's been important that I and the team, management team, are not hanging over your shoulders all the time. You have quite a lot of autonomy. You are able to make decisions on almost any issue yourselves. And you are the ones who are closest to the issues. You are the ones that have the most in-depth competence. So I think that has been important. You have a strong group that is backing you, but it's very much down to the people and the ambition level and what you've been able to install in terms of confidence among, hopefully, this audience and our partners.
And we talked about technology a lot today, and not just IoT, but AI, digitalization, and you've been in the business a long time. So where do you think we're going? Are we going to sort of, is 5G the end? Are we going to go 6G, 7G? What do you see happening?
Well, it's obvious that technology will continue, and when we are installing 5G now, it's not like we're going to use those base stations in their current shape and form in 2045. We all understand that. So that will move on. Where does it take us? That's anyone's guess. I think the reason why we have this building here, and we have the technology, and that we, as sapiens, are ruling the earth, is that we were able to orchestrate performance. The Neanderthals were not as good at doing that. So now when we club each other in the head or shoot each other, it's kind of not happening so often as it would have done if they were ruling the world. But I think we've been able to use technology for something positive, and it's upon us in this room and others who are active in the industry to find good ways of collecting and disseminating information to create value.
I would just comment on your earlier sapien statement. Opposable thumbs also helped.
Sorry?
Opposable thumbs also helped us.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned that we've managed to build something positive using the technology. So can you elaborate a little bit more on the general societal role of telcos and IoT in particular at this age?
Well, I think we've touched upon it many times, and at least for me, the kind of repurposing that I felt during COVID, understanding that 10–15 years ago we wouldn't be able to keep a modern society going without the technology that we had already been applying when the COVID broke out. IoT is kind of a niche inside our business, but it's an important niche that helps us to collect enormous amounts of information, and it's a good way of taking the next step in not only collecting it, analyzing it, and disseminating. So it's basically a world that is still at an early stage, I think, in development. And of course, it's been a lot of focus on the physical part of it, the SIM cards and some of the items that we use for maybe on a bracelet on our hand or other things. But there's still a lot to do around the software side of it, the analysis, and how you can apply that for all kinds of different purposes in society.
And we've talked about sustainability a lot today. It's been coming up in customer panels. We just had Eric and Joanna up here. And we as a company have made sustainability, or being a strong player in this area, very important in our company profile. Why is it important to us? Why do we choose to stake this claim?
Well, there is no other way. And when we redefined the strategy of Tele2 in 2021, we ran a Capital Markets Day in May. And through a lot of work and discussions, we had come to a kind of ambition which is supported by 4 proof points. And those 4 proof points are, in a way, they are measuring whether we are succeeding in being what we want to be, the leading operator in Nordic and the Baltics. Not necessarily the biggest one, but the leading one. And they have a dimension around customer experience. They do have a dimension around owners and return dividend, basically, in basic terms. They also have a very important element around sustainability, and we upgraded that work in late 2020, and that's showing results because it is no longer something that is handled by the sustainability department. We will not have a sustainability department at Tele2 with 40 people, because we believe that we will have a small sustainability department that works with the rest of the organization laterally. And whenever there is an extra effort needed, that is done in collaboration with the business units. Up to now, I think that model has worked really, really well. And it's also down to the good work that those few people within that area have done and the enthusiasm that they have created.
And just to follow up on that, do you think sustainability is a deciding factor for companies when making business decisions?
In many ways, yes. And you had Stefan here on the stage, Stefan Trampus from our B2B department. And he is, there are many, many great supporters of sustainability work in Tele2, and he is one of those people in the forefront, because he clearly sees that there are 2 aspects of it. One, sometimes that's an entry requirement. Other times, that can be actually what nails the deal. So if we 10 years ago could pay lip service to the sustainability area, that doesn't work anymore. You will be excluded from some of the business, and I think that's an increasing part of the business would be at risk. So there are good reasons from a taking responsibility and society point of view, but there are also very good business reasons for being at the forefront of the sustainability work.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we have been talking quite a lot about technology here today, and you have been in telco for quite a while and stuff. So think about like 20 years.
You're saying I'm old?
No, I'm saying your experience.
Fine wine.
Yes, yes. So 20 years from now, would you imagine that the present will look as it looks today?
I mean 20 years back or 20 years from now?
Forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking in 2000 that by 2023, I would have this kind of hovering cars that was in the air without any, and I thought that my shopping would be with some kind of 3-dimensional tactile experience, so I could go to the wine shop and look. Now, I think if we are serious about it, it's very hard to predict 20 years ahead. In terms of, and if I had been able to do that, I would have designed the iPhone, and I would have been very, 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 very rich. I didn't do that. But I think look at the capacities and the products that are out there, there are many things that we couldn't imagine 20 years ago. And I think we should be honest with ourselves. We always think that now we've come to this fantastic development stage. But 20 years from now, when I'm working much less than I do now, and we look back, we will see that we weren't able to predict that. It's going to be quite different from what we foresee today. And that's going to make some people rich, and it's going to make some business redundant, clearly.
Well, that is a problem, and yeah, we can see it already. We're coming to the end of the day, Kjell, so we have our classic final question. What have you seen today that interests you most, that's made you sort of go, Yeah, it's kind of caught your attention? What's impressed you? Or?
Now, some people in the audience will know here that I've spent quite a bit of time on small meetings with one or two of our partners, and I also have met some media, and I've been partly in here also. So, but I kind of knew that answer would come. So I asked in one-on-ones, I asked, so what's the key thing? And I got different answers. One answer, thoughtful answer, was around, cities, how we can use technology much more actively there. But if I should say, from my own thinking, the thing that often strikes me is what an enormous market opportunity there is in demographics. We have a lot of people who are now in my age, middle-aged, and who hopefully will get old. We have relatively high demands, and we have a life expectancy that is relatively high. So we can have a lot of people who are 85, 90, and even more, who live at home, who will have high requirements. And of course, our ability to deliver a lot of services to those increasing demographic segments is a huge opportunity. Because the need for reassurance about your health situation or making life simpler, easier, is going to be, I think there's going to be almost no end to it. So someone has a great idea there, I would put some money into it.
Actually, that wasn't the last question because I thought of something else. We talked quite a bit today about unsiloing solutions, sort of starting unsiloing solutions, sort of taking IoT solutions and creating that ecosystem we've been talking about, but isn't quite happening yet. Is that going to be one of the big developments, do you think, where you have a drifter world with a parking solution, but it also has air quality sensors and sound level sensors and traffic flow sensors, and starts sharing that data with cities, and then off we go? Do you see that happening more and more as we go forward?
I think first we have to answer the question that Rufus put here. He talked about the divergence, and then at some point you go, you have a big shift in one or the other direction, a breakout, so to speak. So if we answer that question with continued patterns of the type that we are used to seeing, then I think we will see a lot of what you have there. And I'm not a futurist, but I would probably think that that's where we will go. I doubt that we will be sitting completely at home and everything will be virtual to us. So the amount of sensors and the collection and dissemination of information is going to be virtually endless demand for, so you can optimize.
Perfect.
Yes, Kjell, well, let me tell you something. Today it was a lot of proud moments for me personally. It's a very proud moment to see that we as an IoT company are able to have such an event. It's a very proud moment when you come here and you say, well, we want to be a leader in 5G in Sweden. It's a proud moment to have Eric here talking about that our sustainability efforts are really appreciated on the global level. So thank you very much for that. And I hope that we will just create more moments to be proud of. Let's give it up to Kjell.
Yay!
Thank you. To you.